girl, Stephanie J. Sanders, and I am a relentless go-getter who wants to change the world one person at a time by providing education and resources to educators who want to be financially secure while doing what they love. You see, at age 24, my whole world was taken from me by someone else's perception. I couldn't afford heat, so I took cold showers. I couldn't afford a bed, so I slept on the floor. I worked every day of my good job, but my struggle was real. I worked 10 plus hours daily, putting all my time into my students, creating routines for shows, practicing for football games twice a week, driving 50 miles a day, until one day my past cost me everything. And that's when I realized that the value I added to that good job meant nothing to them, but everything to me. So I'm here to show you how to leverage your skills so you will never have to worry about outside forces taking what you worked so hard for. You are in control of your legacy, so be the person you never had with the knowledge that will change your life.
Hello, 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 everyone. I hope you guys have had a marvelous day. My name is Stephanie Sanders, and I am the visionary for the Beyond to Teach or Not to Teach Beyond the Classroom Volume 3 book. So all month long, I have been doing interviews with my amazing co-authors, and I'm here to bring you another one today. So why did I write the book initially, right? What is the vision? Well, I wanted to empower teachers. I wanted to empower teachers with a tool belt of professional options, right? What is there to do outside of the four walls of the classroom? Well, when you read this book, it's going to be a plethora of things that you can do, that your talents are better used other places within education. I wanted to also highlight the value of teachers, because we are extremely valuable. If you only knew how much we did in a day, in a week, heck, in an hour, right? You will definitely be amazed. So I just wanted to highlight us, because we are not talked about or highlighted enough. And lastly, I wanted to provide advice to help you explore professions within or beyond education, right? Because as a teacher, you can stay in education and use your talents, or you can go outside of education and use your talents. But I wanted to give a real experience to you guys, so you can have the knowledge before you venture off outside of the classroom. So enough about that. We are here this evening to hear from another fabulous co-author. This young lady resides in Baltimore, Maryland. We have this evening Miss Takhia Gaither. Yay! Hello, Takhia. How are you?
I am doing great. And how are you?
I am amazing, super amazing. So if you are watching us live, make sure you hit a 1 wherever you are, whether you are in Facebook land, Instagram land, LinkedIn land, wherever you are, put a 1 in the comment section. If you are hitting this replay, make sure you hit a 2. Don't worry, we definitely go back and we will get back to you in the chat if you have any questions or concerns, or just, want to make a shout out to us. So, Takhia, let the people know, how long have you been in education and what have you taught?
I have been in education this is my 20th year this year. I've taught middle school math, I've taught high school math, I've taught technology, I've taught computer science, and I went back to middle school math. So
That's amazing. If you don't mind me asking, what is your degree or degrees in?
So I have a bachelor's of science in mathematics. I have a master's in information technology, and I ended up teaching computer science because along the way to getting my IT degree, I started off as an applied math major for grad school. And so it was a mixture of math and computer science. So I'd ended up taking a massive amount of computer science credits with no degree. So I was able to become a certified computer science teacher as well.
Nice. And that's what many people don't understand. Like, where our degrees can take us many different places as far as education. We don't have to actually teach what we get our degree in, because we can qualify for so much more. So that is awesome. So what are your thoughts on why teachers should go beyond the classroom?
It is always good to have another basket available. So in my case, I ended up going out on sick leave, thinking that I had short term disability insurance that would have kicked in, and found out in the midst of it that I did not. And so if it had not been for the fact that I started my business, like my family would have been just out with nothing, because by the time, by then it's the middle of COVID, it's all these different things going on. It took forever to get some other stuff in place. And so because I'd already started my business probably about a year before I actually went on leave, I'd already had clientele, I had other money coming in. And so while it didn't match my teacher salary, we were never broke or poor either. We just had a different set of means to live under, but we were able to still, be financially stable, because you just never know what could happen. So, God gives us all kinds of talents to use, and He never said you had to use them in one place.
I like that. So it sounds like you're a teacher, but you have a business as well. Can you share what that
Yes.
business
So while I was off, quote unquote, because I thought I retired and ended up going back like Jordan, um, I started a editing business just as a profitable hobby. And so I went on Facebook. I was looking for somebody that wanted an editor, and I found a client who wanted somebody to edit her blogs. And so I did it for a while, ended up doing other pages for her, building landing pages and learning social media, all types of graphics, all types of things. Um, and then by the time I went out on leave, I'd already started editing books. I've edited Amazon bestsellers. I've written for Amazon bestsellers. I was building landing pages, simple web pages, because web design is fun, but it's not my thing. I can do it, but there are plenty of people who are way better um, than me at it. But I do all right. So if you don't want anything fancy, I'm your girl. If you want bells and whistles, that's not me. Um, but I started editing and formatting and all of that stuff because those were things I did in my classroom. If you know how to make a worksheet, you know how to
is?
format a book. If you know how to grade a paper, you know how to edit a book. It's the same set of skills. So I traded checking math papers and computer science programs for editing books. I still get to have a red pen and go ahead on about my day. And so when I decided to go back in the classroom, it was, well, do I give it up? Do I stop? Do I, just use it in the summertime? And after several talks with Jesus, he was like, I never told you to stop. I just said you're going back in the classroom. I never said stop doing anything else. And so now I do both.
Wow, you were some type of unicorn. You heard she was a math major, mathematics, technology. She dabbles in web design, and she edits books. I've never seen math and English at the same time. It's always
Most people have it. It's always one or the other.
yes. I am not a math nothing.
And
So,
so
with all these things, what made you decide to join this project, and how has it been?
This project has been amazing. I've loved getting to know the co-authors. Our co-author chat, y'all, is lit from sun up to sundown. I can't even keep up. But everybody is so amazing. You learn so many different things about so many different people. And just the things that they do, all the things people decide to do outside of the classroom. Some that still have to do with teaching, some that don't have to do with teaching. And I like learning new things about people, even though I'm very introverted. So I'll read the chat and laugh. I might not comment all the time, but I just love hearing about the things that people do, because like you said earlier, like teachers are amazing. We have so many things to offer, so many things that just get kind of, pushed aside because everybody looks at tests and scores and all of that stuff. So we get caught up in that world. And so why I decided to do this project is because that's one of the things that came up when I went back to work. Even my kids, because I had workbooks and things that I made, and they like sit behind my desk. And so one of them actually has my name on the cover, and they looked at it and they were like, "You write books?" I said, "Yeah, I write books." Like, they're for sale? I said, "Yes, they're for sale." And so they took it upon themselves to Google me and put me in Amazon to see what they found. And so then when it came up, they were like, "Whoa, you write books and you teach math?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "Well, what else do you do?" "I teach computer science." "You can code?" I said, "Yes." "Like good?" "Yeah, for the most part." And so it's just all the dynamics of the things. Like if I hadn't have tapped into what other skills I could use that I had learned in the classroom. And then the other part is because I'm not technically a trained teacher. I'm a trained mathematician. I didn't get a teaching degree until COVID. None of my and that was a AA because it was free. Um so all the entire time I've been teaching, it's just been me in the classroom. Like I know math and I can show people how to do it. And so that's what I do. So one of the things that people get caught up in is they think number one, to get into teaching, you have to have a teaching degree, and you don't. And then to get out of it, they feel like you have to have a degree in something else. And that's not necessarily true either. You just need to know how to use those skills that you have. And you don't necessarily have to leave the classroom if you don't want to. Like I left for medical reasons and came back because I felt better. Um, and so it's still the fact that people have options. And I think with the way that the world is going and with so many people that are kind of on that fence and that border about do I stay? Do I go? Okay. There we go. Yeah. It's the,
Everything.
the border of, do I stay? We're back. I'm choppy. Let me see. I may have too many windows open. Teacher life and
Mm-hmm.
everything else. We got 85 tabs open all at the same time. But yeah, just with people trying to decide whether or not they want to stay, whether or not they want to go, and join any teacher group that you can find on Facebook, and all you see pop up every couple of weeks or at least once a week. What else can I do besides
Mm-hmm.
teach? I'm thinking about leaving. What else can I do? And groups with thousands of people, those threads get kind of long, but in an isolated space of a book, I can tell you what I do. I can tell you how I did it, and I can tell you how you can do it too.
Yep, and that's what you have done. You have shared, your skills. Now you said you are an author, but is this your first
Yeah.
collaboration book?
No, this is not. I have been in over 10 anthologies. The very first book I ever wrote for and edited was an anthology that a friend was working on right when COVID struck. And she lost her editor because most of the people in the project weren't going to write because they were now unemployed. Um, and so she lost her editor. And in conversation, I'm asking her how everything's going and what's happening. And she was telling me what I said, well, what do editors do? And she said, they really just look for mistakes and put things together. And I was like, well, I do that all the time. I'll do it. So I edited it for free, not knowing how much work was involved in it. And
Oh,
formatted it for free. And so to this day, I owe her like another book because I realize now that I made all kinds of mistakes putting the book together. But it was my first one. So sorry, Internetta. Uh, but it came out, it came out well. She was still happy with the project. And then after that, she was just so amazed because it was 14 authors, 14 people's stories, plus other chapters that she wrote. And I put it all together and was like, okay, here you go. It's ready to print, and had everything set in, oh man, okay. Yeah. So that was how I got started. And then from there it was just I think it was God said I was gonna write 10 books. And I think I asked, are you
wow.
sure? And he said, yes, 10. And so there were the anthologies, and in between, there was one of my own. And so from 2020 to 2021, I did about 12 books overall.
Wow. That's awesome. I'm trying to get like you. I'm only up to three. You got 10. I'm trying to get there. That is all right. So tell the people, where can they find you? Where can they find your books? Where can they contact you if they need editing, if they need, a very low key web design?
Yes.
You know?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Takia the teacher, because one of the things that I could not uh break up from when I first started my business, they was like, well, you have to pick one. You either have to be the teacher or be something else. And I was like, well, I'm not going to pick. I'm still going to be the teacher. And so even though the Ready Write Her is my editing company, I am still Takia the teacher. And on everywhere, everything, LinkedIn, I'm Takhia Gaither. Uh, where else am I? TikTok. I'm on Takia the teacher and the Ready Write Her. I have both on there since people kept telling me, well, you should start another one. So there are two. But if you want editing, if you need editing services, please send me a DM. You can see my name spelled. Just tag me on anything and we can go from there. Oh, my website is thereadywriteher.com.
Nice. I
And
like that name, the Ready Write Her. Very creative. Look at that. Well, I'm not going to be a mathematician. I'm going to just stick to English. I'm not going to jump to the side. I've done, how many grades I've put in. No, no, no. Guys, make sure that you hit her pre-sale link, which is at the top. Make sure you get in contact with her and make sure you support this young lady. Is there anything else you would like to tell the people out there?
Um, just whatever it is you feel like you want to do outside of a classroom, find a way to do it. Like you're not stuck, you're not pigeonholed. You don't have to stay. If you really feel like it's your time to go, if you're a person who prays, pray. God answers.
Mhm.
When I first started the Ready Writer, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Takia the teacher was actually the name of my original blog that I
Mm.
started because I had this thing that I was just going to make all this money being a blogger, not knowing what all had to happen behind the scenes for that to take place. So I started the blog, and it was good for a minute, and then it wasn't. And so when I went back to start over, and I was like, I need something else to do. I need something that I can do on my time when I want to. And I prayed, and maybe 20 minutes later, the answer popped up, was like, you can just edit stuff. Oh, okay. And here we go. And so 4 years later, five actually, here I am still editing. And so you don't have to be stuck. You can move. There's other things to do besides being an administrator. There's other things to do besides being a tutor. There's other things to do besides being a college professor. Nothing wrong with any of those things. I've done two out of the three. I have no desire to be an administrator unless I own my own school, but which may be further down the line. But you don't have to stay in that one spot. You it's like that commercial, you're now free to roam about the cabin. You're free to roam about the cabin. Your teacher skills are transferable many more places than just your classroom, and you don't have to feel like at any given moment that all you are is just a teacher. You're a teacher, you're low-key a counselor, you're auntie, uncle, sometimes dad, sometimes mom, sometimes problem solver. You're the lunch lady, you're the janitor, you're the room designer, you're the decorator. Like all of these different things that you can find at any given moment to put to use someplace else. You're the event planner. If you can plan a field trip, you can probably plan an event and plan one very well, especially if you
Mhm.
haven't lost a kid. Like these are all the things that we take for granted. Um, and so you just, tap into it and definitely buy the book. We have people who are doing all kinds of things and things that you probably never even thought of. We do because we decided to take a minute and say, hey, what else can I do with all this stuff that I know? Because you don't just know it for you. Yes, you know it to teach the kids, but you know it to make a space in the world for yourself, for your family, and for any needs which you know.
Well, powerful words from a powerful lady. Thank you so much. I am kind of sad. I was loving these interviews, but you have not heard the last of us yet. We have a conference that is coming soon. So make sure you follow her so you can stay in contact when our conference come through. You can make sure you sign up and register. So again, if you are watching us live, put a 1. If you are hitting that replay, put a 2. I want to thank you so much for being my guest here. Thank you for being a co-author. I love having you on the team. I love your personality. Now that I get to see you in person, like lit. But I know you be busy. As you can see, she be busy.
Yes.
She can check in, okay? But I love the energy. I love for you helping me bring my vision to life. And I know I've got the right people in the right place. And I'm just truly blessed and truly excited about this project. So thank you again. Thank you to all of those watching. Make sure you go back to see the other fabulous authors. They will be across our timeline. And have a good night, people. Have a good night, guys.
Good
Bye.
night.